Our ghost classmate. Nambe was the girl we all wanted to be. She was perfect, beautiful, smart, and always dressed like someone straight out of a magazine. Nambe was our celebrity, the one we all admired. I thought she was from a very rich family, maybe even a powerful one. Every day, she came to school in an expensive black car with tinted windows. The driver never stepped out, and we never saw who was inside, but we assumed she had a rich parents who were too busy to come to school events. Every teacher praised her. She was our star student, always getting the highest mark. Her name was called out during assemblies for one award after another. If anyone was going to succeed in life, it was Nambe. She was that girl, the one we all wanted to be friends with. I considered myself lucky when she started sitting with me during lunch. She never talked much about her family or home life. Whenever I asked, she would laugh softly and say, "There is not much to tell." I never pressed her. No one ever came to her PTA meetings, though. When any fees were due, it was just a call, a polite but distant voice on the other end. The school would never say who called, but the fees were always paid. She went on vacations every holiday, or so she said. She talked about cities she visited, fancy hotels, and private beaches. We envied her but admired her too. Nambe was our role model, a girl who seemed to have it all. Then, a new principal arrived. Father Kujana, a reverend father from a nearby mission, took over as principal. He was different. Most principals just wanted to get through the year without trouble, but not him. He was always asking questions and took his role seriously. Within weeks, he started sensing a strange presence in his office, which led him to examine the students' records, especially top students and those struggling academically. One day, he called Nambe into his office. She looked tense as she walked down the hall, her face pale. We thought she was just nervous, but that was the last time we saw her. When Nambe didn't show up the next day, we thought she was just skipping school. But the third day, people started whispering. By the end of the week, everyone was talking. Maybe she traveled again, someone said. Her parents probably transferred her to a better school, guessed another. But when Father Kujana gathered some staff and students to ask about her, we knew something was wrong. The next Monday, Father Kujana announced during assembly that he was investigating something important about one of our students. He didn't say much, but he looked serious. Later that day, we saw him leave the school in a bus with some staff members. When they returned 2 days later, everything changed. Father Kujana called an emergency assembly. We stood under the scorching sun, feeling uneasy. He climbed the podium, the staff standing behind him, all looking pale. In his hand was Nambe's school bag, the same one she always carried, clean and expensive. "Students, what I am about to tell you may be hard to believe, but it is the truth," he began. His voice was calm but heavy. He explained that they had visited a distant village. It was dusty, quiet and old. They met an old man who knew about Nambe. At first, he refused to talk, but after some convincing, he shared her story. Nambe wasn't from a wealthy family. She wasn't even alive. She had been a young girl in that village, an orphan who lived in extreme poverty. She was bright and full of dreams, but hunger and suffering swallowed her life before she could achieve anything. Before she died, she made a wish to be rich, to go to school, to live the life she never had. Her spirit left the village and came to our school, blending in perfectly. She created a life for herself here. a life we all believed was real. While Father Kujana was speaking, I remembered the strange things about Nambe, how every time a teacher entered the classroom, she would put her bare feet on the ground immediately, almost as if it was instinct. I thought it was just respect, but she never missed it, not even once. Later, I learned one of our teachers could sense spirits, so maybe Nambe was hiding something. When Father Kujana and the staff returned to school, everything connected to Nambe was destroyed. The award with her name, displayed proudly in the principal's office, were broken. The pictures of her on the walls, group photos, achievement ceremonies, even casual moments were blurry and faded, as if she had never been there. Her name vanished from the school registers. No one could find any record of her, not even in the archives. All that remained of Nambe was her school bag. Father Kujana opened it in front of us. It was empty, except for a single letter. He unfolded it and began to read aloud. "Thank you for giving me a life I never had," it began. In the letter, Nambe explained everything. She described her lonely and painful life in the village and how she died wishing for a chance to go to school in the city, to have friends, and to live like a normal girl. She thanked the school for unknowingly granting her wish. She mentioned a few of us by name, calling us her sisters. My name was there too. I felt a chills as I heard it. She thanked us for treating her kindly, for making her feel alive. But there was sadness in her words too. "I was happy here," she wrote, "but I always knew it couldn't last. My time has come to rest. I hope you all live the lives you dream of, the way I dreamt of mine." The assembly ground was silent. Some of the students were crying. Even Father Kujana looked like he was holding back tears. We all said a silent prayer for her soul. After the assembly, no one dared touch Nambe's bag. It was left in the middle of the assembly ground, as if we were all too scared to get close. By the next morning, it was gone. No one saw who took it or how it disappeared. For weeks, the school felt strange. People whispered about Nambe in the hallway. No one sat in her usual seat in the class. During lunch breaks, some of us swore we felt her presence, like she was still watching over us. But eventually, life moved on. Father Kujana never spoke of her again, except for the prayers we said for her soul every Thursday or on All Souls Day. The wall where her pictures once hung remained there. The awards cabinet were emptied and locked. Sometimes I think about her, about the girl who had it all, the girl we all envied, and I wonder if she is truly at peace wherever she is. One thing is for sure, we will never forget her. Thank you.